We are, of course, in the midst of the Trooper Talk takeover of Morning Blend. You know this face from Morning Blend and from Trooper Talk, the host of Trooper Talk, Neil Sagmary. And these two gentlemen are looking to recruit us, I think, right now, Neil.
I think so. And,
yeah.
You know, and they're very familiar faces on Trooper Talk. You know what I'm saying? And we can embarrass them both. You want to do that?
Are we allowed to do that?
Let me tell you this.
Oh, not going to get arrested?
No, we won't get arrested. But
okay.
On the 200th episode, we had his mom come on, who works for Nevada State Police. And then watch his face turn even red. His fiance works for Nevada State Police, too.
Wow.
Shows you what a great agency we have.
There we go.
And Trooper Hagstrom, you know, he goes out to all the schools. He's the PIO. You know, he's here every week. He's doing everything he can for the community, putting everything together. I mean, like, he's one person. Johnny and I have been to his office. I mean, you know, they give him candy, you know, to keep him, you know, going. You know what I mean? Because he's got stacks of paper and stuff. We're just so happy to be here with both of these.
And a familiar face of Morning Blend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's a pleasure. So recruitment, obviously, a big deal in the force. What are some of the things that you guys are looking for?
Well, we're looking for Nevada's finest. You know what I mean? We want somebody that wants to make this a career and wants to be part of the community and assisting the community. So we want somebody that's kind of a go-getter and wants to go out there and make a difference, you know, save lives and just help our community out.
Definitely, Neil, he's definitely talking about us.
No, he is. And let me tell you something. You know, the thing is that there's so many wonderful things about working for Nevada State Police. You know what I mean? That he can go into everything. I mean, the take-home cars, the camaraderie, right? Tell us.
Yeah. So Nevada State Police will give you everything that you need to get into the academy, as opposed to other local agencies. You have to purchase a lot of the gear to get into the academy.
Really?
With us, we give you everything you need down to your uniform. You get a take-home car. So if your shift starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're in your driveway at 6 and your shift is started. So whatever you need to get into the academy, we're going to provide for you, and we are not asking for any experience or anything. We will teach you how to be a law enforcement officer.
Clearly,
that's the best
part.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
yeah,
clearly the emphasis is on setting up people for success.
Correct.
You guys want people to thrive and enjoy the job as much as the hard aspects come with it.
Right, and that's one of the benefits for working for Nevada State Police. The leadership that we have at our department is separate to all the other agencies in town. They make it so easy to go out and do our job, especially with all the gear that they provide for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's second to none. You know what I mean? And one of the good aspects that we have is you get your own office that you're in every day, your take-home car. So the minute you leave your driveway, you're hitting on, and then when you get off work, you're hitting off. So a lot of big agencies, you have to actually drive there, take the time, move your equipment, everything, where this car is set up for you and only you get to use it.
Perfect.
So that's a great benefit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's something that we talk about all the time. And so they're looking for the best of the best. And so it's going to take special people in order to do that, and they do the academies. And what it is that is so wonderful is that there's no age limit, okay, to join, as long as you can do all the requirements and everything like that. And they're looking for people. And they're looking for people that want to make a difference in the community.
That person could probably be watching right now.
Absolutely.
100%. And that's why with no age limit, you know, it could be somebody that, you know, we had... Corporal McClarty, you know, he came from the casinos. A lot of people worked in the casinos, and then now they're looking for something different. And the way to make something different is to join Nevada State Police and join this fantastic family.
So talking about that, if there are people watching probably the show right now who are thinking, this is a career I'd be interested in, this is certainly the different aspects that I didn't know was associated with the department. If you wanted to speak to people right now at home and you know, encourage them to apply, what kind of people are you looking for, and what should they know about the job in specifics?
Well, one of the things is go to nevadastatepolice.com and go and look at, it's not only if you, let's say you want to be in law enforcement, but you don't want to wear a gun or anything. We also have administrative, NHP dispatchers. We have a whole array, and once you get on the department too, we're looking for state troopers and parole and probation officers. But we have a big division, so you can switch into all different careers, like state fire marshal, Department of Investigation, governor's dignitary. So there's a lot of different divisions that you can move about and around for that.
Opportunities to thrive and change and grow within it as well.
Absolutely.
And clearly a family environment. You have your family working there with you.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just the actual family; it's our command staff that feels like family as well.
I was trying to make him blush again.
No,
Neil.
you did, and I'll tell you this very quickly: that both his mom and his fiance, they're not a sworn officer,
Right.
and they have advanced so much from where they started, and that's one of the best things about the Nevada State Police is there's so much room for advancement, even in a non-sworn position, just like the dispatch.
And one more time, guys, for people watching at home who are thinking about applying, what's the website?
Yeah, NevadaStatePolice.com.
Yeah, there you go.
More of this coming up on the Morning Blend, where the takeover is happening from Trooper Talks with Neil Sackberry, and this is the point where we're supposed to wave, I think.
We are supposed to wait. So see you later.
This is the Morning Blend takeover from Neil Sackberry and, of course, Trooper Talk. And, Neil, this is a harmonious set right now.
It's the best.
Which leads into a beautiful subject that we're talking about as well.
We're here live at the 360 Vegas studios. We have Major Honey, we have Captain West. You know, these two gentlemen here, their leadership is what provides all the troopers to go out there every single solitary day, and they're just fantastic gentlemen, and so we're just honored to have them here.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us, guys. Thank you.
So talk to us about, you know, what is in store and what we're trying to do for Nevada State Police to make it the best agency that we can.
Well, lots, starting with recruitment, right? We have a recruitment campaign, and they're out there hitting the streets and going to the different events to try to get the quality candidates that we need, and hard go-getters and fast chargers and things like that, as well as the different enforcement initiatives coming up that are going on throughout the summer. We have some DUI campaigns coming up. The May You Never Drive Drunk event will be coming up in July, so those types of things to get out there and just get our faces out there, get some recruitment, do some aggressive enforcement with the little numbers we have, and try to create the positivity and some safe roadways.
Yeah, obviously part of that thing, the recruitment thing, you know, it's a tough job at the best of times, but the other side of things is the camaraderie and the positivity and the togetherness that comes with working with the department.
So we're a little smaller agency, obviously, so that gives us the ability to get to know our people and to get to be part of their lives and to get to know their families. So we're just about the right size. We're big enough to make a difference, but we're still small enough to where we don't you don't have that corporate feel. And I can promise you, I know I feel that way, and hopefully our troopers and sergeants do, but I feel like we're just one big family.
Yeah, it's what we talk all the time about Trooper Talk. You know, every single day, every single time, it's this family environment, and I love it because Johnny and I get to go to the promotion ceremonies, and every single time, you know, they're both there. They're both telling everybody how much they appreciate them. When a person gets promoted, they give the flowers to the spouse, and they say, "Listen, I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to be easy," you know, and that's why they look for the absolute best, because that's what we need out there patrolling our roadways, right?
Yeah, I mean, we want to involve the families. We also don't want them to be a surprise, because this is a tough job. It's very demanding. There's 24-hour, 365 coverage going on, so they have to be there and understand that there's going to be them as a huge support factor for the troopers that are out there, you know, working all day and all night.
Obviously, recruitment's a big thing. Is there anything you'd like the public to know? I mean, I'm sure there's quite kind of a presumption that you're looking for the fittest, you're looking for someone who's great with a gun, who's good with talking to people. Are there aspects of the job that go overlooked that you think are important to clarify?
Yeah, I think probably the most important thing is if you can talk to people. So I know that everybody that's in this room today and everybody that sat on your couch, I've handed out business cards this week to people that come out, and I just like the way that they interacted with me. We can teach you to be a cop. That's what our academy is all about, but we're looking for those people with integrity, those people that know how to talk to the public, because at its core, this is a public service job, and we're out there to help people. There's no cookie cut. We're not looking for specifically a guy that has a military background or a person that has athletic background. We're just looking for people that care about their community and genuinely want to make a difference.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the leadership of the Nevada State Police, because I know that, you know, everybody here, and especially these two gentlemen on a personal level, that they care. And so, like, they want everyone under them to succeed. They want to teach them. They want to educate them so that they can be better troopers or better at what they do. You know, they send them to the best training. We were just on this morning with Sergeant Whitmarsh. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that Nevada State Police does. And, you know, if you come over from parole and probation, right? You can, you know, he came over from parole and probation, and now he's for Nevada State Police. And so,
more importantly to us is not that you're the best state trooper. We want you to be the best father. We want you to be the best brother, the best son. We want you to be the best person. So one of the things that we really try to focus on is providing the tools for people to live well, but also urging them to keep in mind that work-life balance. If you're a better husband, you're going to be a better state trooper.
Yeah.
If you're a better father, you're going to be a better state trooper. And through the years, we've grown to kind of understand this. So work-life balance and being a good person is
there a good place where people can find more information, sign up, and also get the lowdown on where you guys will be recruiting next, or what kind of events are coming up?
Yeah, if you go to our website, it's constantly open. And Neil can run the banner.
yeah, we
give
Nevada
us
State
that.
Police, we have Louis on here all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be on shortly, and he will sit there and train you and do the push-ups, and you know what I'm saying? And,
There'll be push-ups?
And yep, they will make sure that you are to
I'm
the
glad they have a green
absolute
screen.
best. Well, they don't do green screen.
No, I'm saying I can do green
Oh,
screen.
you can do
fake
green screen,
push-ups.
yeah, but they won't let you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Elliot, we are out of time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So,
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
more Trooper Talks coming up right here on Morning Blend.
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Gentlemen,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
wave goodbye, okay?
Welcome back to Trooper Talks. Neil Sackmary, obviously your usual host, but this is the Morning Blend episode, the takeover from Trooper Talks.
Yep.
And for that, you need good leadership. You need good commanders, right, Neil?
You do. And you know what? Something that's really cool is that we just found out that there's a certain individual here who's never been on Trooper Talk.
Never been on Trooper Talks.
But she's on the Trooper Talk Takeover, so please introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I am Captain Shelley Correo, and I oversee our rural teams, our tourism areas, and our commercial teams. So
And by commercial teams, what exactly does that?
that's the commercial vehicles. So your semi truck, they do inspections. They make sure our roadways are safe by checking all the commercial vehicles coming into Las Vegas or in the valley on the north and south side of the boulevard or the 15. So they're just making sure that those vehicles are safe, they're up to code, and they're not creating any issues on our roadways.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So we've had the people that work underneath her on here. She's very modest. They spend hours, and when I say hours, they look at every single screw. They go and look at every brake pad. They look at every airline. I mean, like, the extensive things that they do to ensure that the commercial vehicles are safe that travel Nevada roadways is unparalleled. We've had them on. They talk about the vehicle. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And that, again, comes from the leadership. We've had that on earlier today, and it's something that we talk about all the time, that the leadership at the Nevada State Police gives them every single tool that they need in order to succeed, right?
Absolutely. And that comes down to all the training that we get. You know, starts from recruitment to training, and it just goes into the troopers that are actually working the roadways through that. And it doesn't matter what division they work in, Nevada State Police, we give them all the tools that they actually need so they can be successful in their jobs.
Yeah, I think this is an aspect as well. I think people see or think about, you know, speeding violations, as we've talked about, those kind of aspects of police work. Sometimes this is like the unseen aspects of what you guys are doing to make sure everyone in Nevada is protected, every citizen is protected on the highway.
Right. And, you know, one of the factors specifically to talk about commercial vehicles again for a second is we have a lot of young drivers, and they don't understand that these trucks can't see them. So one of the things that I learned, well, I shouldn't say I learned, but one of my experiences I had with my own kids is we did a driver's edge course, or they did the course, and they had a semi truck and they had a car just a regular 4-door sedan car in front of it to kind of give these kids the view of what these semi-truck drivers. So when you're driving on our Vegas roadways or any roadways, you can't cut them off. They can't stop as quickly. So it's a whole encompassing event for our roadways. Just the other programs that we promote and we get to be able to be involved in, like Driver's Edge and some other driving courses that the Valley has to offer.
We had Chief Black Eye who is from the Clark County School District Police. We know very well, and he was on here the other day because Driver's Edge is fantastic for all the new drivers that are just learning how to go out there and maneuver on the roadways. Okay, and so they have a hard enough time just doing that, and that's one of the things that we talk about, because when you're a new driver and you're learning, you need to be aware of these things and not do distracted driving, and obviously, and also add impairment. But the distracted driving, you know, you just got your license and now you want to text everybody while you're driving the car.
And that's one of the things about Driver's Edge. You know, they're going to teach you about no cell phone usage, and simple things like moving your rear view mirrors out. I mean, not the rear view, but side mirrors out further out. You can see farther distance back instead of having them where you see your car, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a blind spot. So they teach the kids that. And one of the great things that she brought up too is those semi trucks, when they're carrying like 86,000 pounds and they're going down the highway, they can't stop. They don't have the ability to stop right away. So everybody needs to learn to give a little bit of distance. And we really have to teach our teens about distracted driving.
Yeah.
You know, they have other people in the car. They got their radio up. You know, if they're eating in the car and they drop a fry, just leave it. You know what I mean? We don't want them picking up or changing things or looking back and talking to their friends when they're actually driving in heavy traffic, because that's what causes crashes. And we always got to remind the public too, our two major contributing factors to our fatals here in Nevada are speed and impairment. So that's one of the big things that our troopers are trying to do, is get that speed down every time. And always our graveyard troopers, all troopers actually, but our graveyard troopers have been doing a tremendous job during the evening and late morning hours getting DUIs off the roadway.
What I find fascinating is the ability for you guys to come on to Trooper Talk and give this information and share it. And I know this man's not going to say anything, but I wanted to take a minute just to hear from you guys about how great it is that Neil gives you guys this platform, this opportunity to talk, to show your faces to the public, to see the person behind the badge, and to hear about the elements that it takes to do your job.
Absolutely. And you know what's so great? We are so pleased to have Neil bring us on board with this, because not only do we talk about behind the scenes of Nevada State Police and all the different divisions, but we also go over all of traffic safety, the do's and don'ts while people are out there driving on the roadways. And we also give them a lot of traffic tips. Like, you know, we're coming up to summer right now, and if people are planning on big trips going somewhere, I always want to make sure that their cars are properly maintained, have everything in their cars, especially a spare tire, because I don't know how many times I've gone to a motorist assist and either they don't have a spare tire or it's flat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I always tell people, hey, put an extra medical kit in there. Always have waters. Jumper cables in case you get a bad battery, and make sure you have some food, because who knows if there's going to be a crash ahead over the holiday and you're stuck in traffic for a while. Sometimes you might not get out of that traffic. You might be stuck for a while there. So those things are very beneficial if you're planning to go out of state. And we just want everybody to have a safe ride wherever they're going.
Yeah, and all I'm going to say is that comes from the leadership. The major was on, the other captain was on. Every one of them has the same exact philosophy. Let's teach everybody that is below us, because they're going to make our job even that much more successful. And that's something that Nevada State Police does, and that's something that they continue to do with the leadership from the top all the way down.
Well, I've enjoyed being here for this hour. It's been super fun, and I know the troopers are grateful for you, for everything you do to help them and assist them and get the message out to the people.
We got to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Responsibilities on all of us as well. But thank you very much. It's been another great time. Thanks for joining us this morning on
Now we get to wave on this one.
Yeah,
I can wave.
we're going to wave. This is, of course, the Trooper Talks takeover of Morning Blend. This man is Neil Sackmary. And Neil, Being a sensible driver and a safe
Yeah.
driver is something we all take for granted, but these two gentlemen can attest to the fact that there is more to it.
They can. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in Prim, Nevada, and how many people you catch on the road.
I'm Sergeant Strakowski. I'm the sergeant of Prim. And Prim is the district between pretty much Las Vegas and Southern California. So whenever there's a significant amount of activity down there, as you can understand, everyone wants to come to Vegas and spend their money. So they want to get here in a hurry, and so we encounter a lot of people down there with a lot of high speeds.
Yeah, we'll come on to that definitely. And just to very quickly,
Right.
and you, sir?
Sergeant Donaldson, Graveyard, here in Las Vegas.
He's the legend.
Legend.
Okay, and so we had the customer come into the store. I'm going to tell very quickly. I always tell this story. She came in and she said that her daughter is the assistant chief where he used to be in Washington, and he is an absolute legend in Washington and used to get more people off the road than anybody. And here he started out as Trooper Donaldson. Now he's Sergeant. And one of the things that we talked about this morning with Sergeant Whitmarsh was the fact of how these two gentlemen inspire people that work underneath him. He rides his motorcycle and catches people doing 120, 130 miles an hour, and he gets people off the road that are doing bad things, which is driving impaired,
Right.
and they are going to kill people.
And we do have a significant problem. It's not just in this state, but countrywide with both those elements. It doesn't seem to matter how many times you guys re-emphasize it or people are warned about it. It happens on a constant basis, and this is something that must, obviously concerns you.
Yeah, I mean, just last month, for the month of May, we had 134 DUI arrests on Graveyard, and we averaged 7 troopers working the road a night because of the staffing issue we have right now. So if you do the math, 4 of my troopers are in jail, and that leaves 3 to patrol the roads, and that's a problem. With the impaired drivers out there, we want people to stay home, get a ride share, get a taxi, don't drive impaired.
And it's so easy these days. It's literally at the end of your hand. You can just hit that button and you know when you've had 1 drink or 2 drinks that you shouldn't be doing it, but people still do.
Yeah, I had a lady the other night. She fell asleep at the wheel at the intersection right there in front of Allegiant Stadium. And her demand was, well, you can just take me home. I said, we don't give rides home, we give rides to jail.
Right.
You're under the influence and you're going to jail. And that's just the way it went. We don't want people to come here on vacation and then leave on probation, right? Isn't that the saying? So, and he sees that a lot coming into town and people leaving town. And we get them here in town, leaving the casinos, leaving the resorts, leaving the clubs. They think they're okay. Don't wait to make that decision to drive until after you've been drinking. You have to commit before you go out that you're not going to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk about him all the time because Trooper Hagstrom is always showing his clips because he's catching people on, driving impaired at 110, 115. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. And they come in from out of state and they drive past his station and they have no care in the world and they're impaired, they're trying to get places, and he catches them and we get them on, see it on the radar all the time, right?
Yeah, like the just a few weeks ago we had one at 109 persons impaired coming into town. So the scary part is the fact that they've been driving for at least a few hours on the highway coming northbound on the 15, and they're impaired probably the whole time, or I don't know if they're doing some sort of drinking while they're driving or whatever the case may be. But yeah, and impairment's a real issue, and speed and impairment contribute to most of the fatalities that we encounter anyway.
Yeah, and there's some obvious things that come with that speed, let alone the the impairment, driving at certain velocity, especially when we're talking about these high speeds, just braking distance and other things like a child could come out across the road. I mean, just sensible things that people don't think about.
Yeah, Prim's just one big straight road, the 15, coming north, and people, if they're traveling early in the morning or late at night, even falling asleep, or if they've had some drinks and they fall asleep and then they just go off the road. So not even the braking aspect of it, but yeah, I mean that can really turn into something horrible, especially if the road's blocked. Let's say there's a accident or crash that occurred, north of their location. They're coming and not paying attention, and we've had crashes like that, that have resulted in fatalities where people crash and then people drive into them, impaired people drive into them. So it's kind of
it's horrible.
It can be pretty bad.
And that's why we display from these, just so let me show you, okay? These are the Stop DUI handcuffs from Sandy Haverly. And so anything that we can do to support them and support these troopers is really what we need to do, Elliot.
Well, guys, thanks so much for chatting with us this morning, and hopefully we made an impact with the viewers on Morning Blend.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, now we'll wave this way.
We are in the midst of the Morning Blend with a takeover from Trooper Talks, as you can see right here. And Neil, this is I love this. We're
cool,
in the midst of screens everywhere around us, and these two gentlemen, of course, as well.
Of course. And this is Sergeant Smackham, and these are given to me by his mom a few years ago, and I always bring them to sort of embarrass everyone, but especially with him because he's my dear friend, and we appreciate his mom because they always watch his
Hey, moms are the best,
right.
especially police moms.
Mom needs to get you some new flowers.
Right. Well, yeah, apparently.
Sergeant Smackham, talk to us the fact of what it is that you do and why it's so important for the Nevada State Police to have someone like you for what you do.
Yeah, I'm an investigator with the Nevada State Police Office of Professional Responsibility, and in short, we're the internal affairs for the Nevada State Police. And it's our job to investigate any claims of misconduct or any complaints that come in. And it's important because the foundation of what we do and our authority to enforce the law comes down to public trust. Our power and our authority only exist because the people we serve allow us to have that authority. And that doesn't exist unless there's complete trust in the job we're doing. And so I'm here to ensure that we maintain that trust with our community.
Yeah, accountability is a huge part of any job, obviously with a public-facing job like you mentioned. But before any of that even happens, something has to be actioned, and that's where your end of the job comes in.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm Trooper Schlater. I work on graveyard shift, so 10 p.m. to 8 in the morning, and the primary goal of any graveyard trooper is to do DUI investigations. And with DUI investigations, obviously, can come some people who felt like maybe they weren't treated properly, or maybe they felt like the arrest wasn't proper, so then that's where a complaint may come, and then he would investigate that.
So you guys would liaise on certain aspects of it, obviously with the subject as well, who may be in trouble and potentially looking for a way out too.
Absolutely. We are a team.
Yeah.
I'll work with the multiple divisions we have within the Nevada State Police, whether it's the High Patrol, Prone Probation, the Department of Investigations, Fire Marshal, and we'll liaise with all those supervisors whenever we get a complaint in order to come down and get the facts and determine what the truth of the allegation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trooper Schlater, we were talking about him again on this edition of Trooper Talk this morning because somebody posted a comment, which I told him as soon as he got here, and said that they went on a ride-along with him and that he's a legend, like Sergeant Donaldson.
More legends.
We'll just keep embarrassing him too. You know what I mean? But the thing is, they all are. And what I'm going to say to you is this: Trooper Schlater goes out and teaches every single thing to all the different academies, to all the different agencies across the state. He gives out his cell phone number. He gets woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. He picks up the phone and he says, "How can I help you?" Because they have a question. They don't want to make the wrong decision. They want to make always the right decision. And so they have to follow what it is that they learn. And that's when they learn from him. And that's when they learn from Sergeant Smackham.
I love this because there's an accountability, obviously from public insight, but an accountability you feel to yourself and to the public that you wear, not just this badge with honor, but as part of a community outreach too.
Yeah, for sure. So it's how I look at it is I do all the training to make sure that people are doing it the right way, and then also to ensure that we have the highest level of training throughout the state. And we can make sure that if officers are making the decision that somebody's under the influence, that they made the correct decision. Right. That's why I give my number out and all of the stuff that he mentioned.
And I'm going to tell you, and Sergeant Smacka, okay, so Sergeant Baracek and Sergeant Smacka were the originals to start Trooper Talk. Okay?
Really?
Yes. And then after that, then Trooper Wellman came before she went to be a corporal. And so what we see here okay, was an idea that came from the fact of filming. And when I gave the idea to Sergeant Baracek, he was doing it, and then right then Sergeant Smacka became the PIO. He wasn't a sergeant at that time, and he came in every single week to make sure that we would talk about highway safety and road safety and everything like that. And so we wouldn't be here without everybody putting in all this effort. And so we're just thankful for that.
And without that, we wouldn't have the flowers from Mum either.
I would agree with you 100%. And there they are, and that's why we're proud to display them on every single Trooper Talk that we watch.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for your service, and thank you for chatting to us for this morning. Trooper Talks is happening all hour long here on Morning Blend. Me and Neil will be back with more interviews coming up.
Make sure you wave.
Neil, we've talked about training here on the Trooper Talk Takeover of Morning Blend, and it does start there, but there's another huge aspect to policing.
Yes, the recruitment, okay, is really important. And so one of the best things about Nevada State Police is you need to know nothing except to have the drive. And if you have that, then you can start off with him, okay, and then he will take you all the way up to the academy, get you everything that you need to be prepared. Then they're going to go into the academy, and then Sergeant Whitmarsh is going to take over. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
So I'm Trooper Villanueva. I'm the sworn recruiter for Nevada State Police in Southern Command or Region 1. My job is essentially to bring people onto the department to not only better themselves, but better the public.
Right. And obviously, you know, recruitment's a huge part of any job, but so is training. And training doesn't just start and stop at the beginning of the job. Clearly, it's something that people go through all the time. But a significant part of joining the force is learning how to do things properly. And I understand from Neil that you're the man who signs off, who gives that person the green stamp to go out and be a trooper.
That is correct. I'm Sergeant Whitmarsh. I'm the training sergeant for Nevada High Patrol. Basically, they finish the academy, and then they come to me for their advanced training, the Trooper Academy. They learn how to become an actual trooper, crash investigation, DUI investigation, things like that. From there, they move on to field training. Field training is real-life application on the road with a field training officer. They learn how to do the job one-on-one with the FTO on the road. So they deal with the public, they deal with the dangers and all the crashes and DUIs, everything like that. From there, they have to progress through that program, a 4-phase program. I observe their progression throughout each phase of the program and make sure they're where they need to be at in the program. After they finish the program, I evaluate whether they're okay to do the job by themselves. They're fully sworn, ready to go by themselves trooper. And from there, I make the decision. If they need more time training, I'll give them more training and give them the tools they need to succeed. But the goal is to get them on the road by themselves, to go out there and work one-on-one with us.
And that's clearly the emphasis is tools, is giving people the right skills, and also going through, like you said, that they're almost out on the job doing it while they're training.
Correct. And then training doesn't stop there. Once you become a cop or a state trooper in general, you've got to continue training throughout your career. You're always training. The environment changes, case law changes, things change. So you always got to stay up to date on your training and progress throughout your career.
Yeah. Clearly an important aspect of any job.
And it is. And so one of the things that he does is to make sure of that, right? To make sure that the person that's going out on the road is going to be the best of the best. And then what he does is that he ensures that before they get to that point, that they're getting the best of the best. That they're getting somebody who can do the background investigation, who can do the written qualifications, who can do the polygraph. You know, this isn't 1, 2, 3. It takes months in order to get up to the academy, right? Yep. And then once they get to the academy, you know, it's up to that person to do what they have to do, right?
Right, and we've talked about it before. The academy will absolutely know if this is something that you want to do and if you're serious about. We are looking for people that have that drive in them and the people that want to go out and make a difference. We're not looking for somebody to just come and sign paperwork and go about their day. We're looking for people that want to come out and make a difference.
It's clearly a profession and something that people must have a desire to do. Are there certain rewarding aspects of seeing someone go through everything from the first entry point to where you sign off? Are there aspects that you really love to see people go in the field?
There really is. Like, he's a recruiter, he recruits them on, but actually they come to me as a pre-cadet before they start the academy.
Right.
So I see them before they even touch a gun or a duty belt. I see them prior on, and I watch them grow through the whole program and then finish off successfully and go out hit the road and do great things for the public. Yep. It's rewarding.
And there must be some officers you've seen, or some troopers that have sat on this set and graced Trooper Talk that you've like, I've seen you, I helped you go to where you are, and now you've just blossomed as an officer.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's even better to see them do better than I did. Yeah. To see that is just know I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and men, women, you know what I mean? They want them all.
Yep.
And so, you know, we always talk, and when Trooper Wellman was here, and corporal, and now she's a corporal in the academy, we always talk about the women of Nevada State Police. We talk about the dispatchers. We can embarrass him again, you know what I mean, with his whole family working for Nevada State Police, mom, his fiance, you know what I mean? All those things, but it's fantastic, and that's why we're honored to be able to sit here with them today.
Yeah, it's really remarkable, and we appreciate what you guys do. Is there any aspects for anyone watching at home you might be wanting to share with them about the job, about the lifestyle, or about potentially enrolling, or if they were thinking about that?
So it's not an easy process. I'll start with that. Before I start with that, I want to thank Neil for having us on for Trooper Talk and everything that he does for us. He gets us out there to the community and to the public, and it's amazing what he does for us.
Very true.
But for Nevada State Police to come join with us, it's not easy. However, it is attainable if you have that drive. If it's something that you want to do, please come and go to nevadastatepolice.com, submit your application there, and I essentially help you from the beginning all the way down to the end, to the academy.
And I'll piggyback on that. I got to have the drive. To be a state trooper in Nevada, you got to have the drive and the will to want to help your public and have that camaraderie with your partners.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I've appreciated being here with you guys, and Neil, thank you. Like it's been displayed before, you do an incredible job. You really do support these guys, and I know how grateful they are for sharing this time with you.
And I'm the same. I feel just as grateful just to be able to hang out with them. It means so much.
We're going to continue this loving right now, but thank you for watching us here on the Trooper Talk Takeover, a morning blend, and I guess we do the wave off now, right? Guys?
Right here.
All right. All right. Here we go.
See you later. Make sure you wave.